Welcome back, everyone.
For a Time Like This podcast.
I'm Natalie.
And I'm Ashley.
And we're your hosts.
If you missed it, our last episode was an interview with Sister Elizabeth Leach. It was a really good, her testimony.
Yep.
Her and Natalie did it. It went really, really good. Afterwards, they are texting about it. They're like, if you don't like it, you can delete it. We're so nervous or whatever. So I immediately started editing. It was like great. I loved it.
I get nervous because, I think I'm so used to doing this podcast with you. So it's kind of different to try to talk to somebody else differently and ask different questions.
Well, I did it with my sister, and I didn't even mentally prepare for anything because I'm just I'm so comfortable with her.
Yeah,
you would think. But once it started, I was like, just because it was a little bit different, so it took a minute. Especially when they're expecting you to be the one to know everything, and you're like,
I don't even know what I'm doing.
But it went really, really good. I thought it was amazing. I loved it.
I don't know if I sounded really nervous on there, but I was nervous. But after we kind of talked a little bit, we kind of both just.
Well, in the editing, so you don't see it when you're not in the editing, is about 2 minutes in. And they get tickled about something, and then they both really laughed, and then right after that, there was no more nervousness. I guess everybody was comfortable, but I edited out that laugh, so you didn't hear it, but it was a good one.
This past week, we did not do one because Ashley had to work on our days that we had to, and then I also got sick on the day that we did planned on it.
Yeah.
So I got sick for a whole week, almost feel like a whole week, and I'm just now kind of getting
even
over
Monday.
it.
Her voice was still real hoarse, so she sounds a lot better. Well, we try to record the first day of the week. That way, we have the rest of the week to reschedule if we need to. Okay.
Well, I'm getting over that, and we're starting our new week this week. So here we are.
Since last week was a bit more intense, we like to always do something light the next episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but it's just more serious note. So we just wanted to do something kind of funny this week. And I was driving and we were texting about what an idea we should. And I'm like, we need to do a podcast about rules we think people need to follow. They're not rules or laws on the land, but I feel like they should be.
Yeah. They're probably the same ones that you're probably thinking of, oh man, I thought about that before.
Yeah, I feel like we need to do that. I'll just go ahead and start just because it's really funny.
You go ahead.
So my first rule or law or however you would like to do it, this is what I'd like everybody to start to obeying. Following is school buses they should only stop on one road once.
So she basically wants everybody to live in one the same road.
No, that's not what I mean. Sorry, let me rephrase that. So when you come, you know how there's all these roads. So when they come to your street, everybody on your street needs to have a bus stop, and they all get on.
Oh, okay.
Because these bus stops are stopping every 15 inches. Yeah. I'm telling you, this bus, it stopped at a house. It rode to the next house. And I'm like, why couldn't those kids?
Okay, I see now what you mean.
They are within... They could talk to each other. These kids could. They were so close. Yeah. I'm like, why aren't they all just getting together? Because that's how we used to do it. Our road, the bus didn't come up a road. So we all went to the end of our road. So there was 3 or 4 families, and we all met there, and we all got on the bus. Yeah. That saved the bus from having to stop 150 times. Right. I'm just like, what are we doing? If the kids could see each other, why aren't we just having here's the bus stop? And I understand you don't want to have to drive to the bus stop, but if you could walk to it.
Yeah. Now, these houses are close enough to, I think they should do it. Make them do it. Get all your kids outside.
I understand if y'all live a mile down the road, if you're in rural county or whatever, and the bus has to drive, but the bus at least needs to get up to 30 miles an hour.
For real.
Before it stops again.
This irritates
but
Ashley.
It's the bus, I doubt if they even, I don't know.
I don't know if
it was crazy.
Even if I'm pretty sure the bus drivers probably think about this too, though, because they're the ones that are driving. They're like, oh, I wish you guys would just meet up, but it's not a rule or a law or anything, but that should be.
And a little canopy for the kids to stand under when it's raining. All about that. I just feel like the buses should stop once, not every 15 inches. Yeah. Here's another thing I think on the bus route. We'll go to you next, but and I feel like people disagree with me. But if your kid's too little to get on the bus without you holding their hands to the bus, and then the monitor getting off the bus and putting them on the bus, they probably shouldn't go to school.
Yep.
I got behind the bus the other day. I live within walking distance of my mom's house, so I can walk to my mom's house in like 5 to 10 minutes. We're real close.
Yeah.
I had a bus stop 3 times between my house and my mom's house. And driving, it's like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I can drive to my mom's house in 2 minutes. Like, it's real close. 3 times it stopped. And each stop, the bus stopped. The monitor got off the bus. The parent walked the kid all the way to the door. The monitor took the kid and walked them to their seat. I think they were like preschoolers, but I'm like, if they can't walk to the bus, I don't feel like I would want my kid to be at a school, because it's not like everybody can hold their hand. You don't have 15 monitors in one classroom to hold your child's hand this whole time. So I'm not against kids going to daycare or whatever. I'm just saying, if they're too little to get on the bus themselves.
Yeah, I would never
there needs
put
to
my
be a
kid on a
different
bus.
something going on. I don't know. It's just like
it's one of those things.
Stopping in front of me like 100 times. I'm like, my goodness, let's get it together, people.
Okay, so one of mine, Ashley, I actually thought about this when when I was reading some of your stuff when we was talking about this. That left turn. It should be a green light, like that right away to the left is what I'm saying. I don't know which one you were talking about. So like when we're driving, you know how the red light is red.
Oh, when it's a left turn.
And no, when it's a right turn, and then you can still go if nobody's coming. You can still go on right.
Right.
Why isn't it the same thing as on the left? Like I want to know that. I think I get it. You have to go around the other cars. You can't just like, you know how on the right turn, there's the road. It's already going that way anyway.
Yeah, there's like nobody coming. Where if you're turning left, you have to cross like 2 different people.
Yeah. Okay, that don't make sense now.
No, but I kind of
just hit me because I'm like, you know, like
it should be optional if there's nobody there.
Yeah.
If you're at the light by yourself and no one's around, just go. We shouldn't worry about the light.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Like, yeah, that's one of. I'm like, man, this should do this. And I even asked my husband that, and he acted like I was dumb because I was like, no, for real, because it's just one of those things that I'm like driving now, and I'm like, yeah, they should probably have something like this similar to the red light because we got to sit here for a while.
Yeah, but I feel like there's nobody at the intersection. I understand what you're saying. Then you should go.
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, it
I get it. Well, we were talking, like, one of my things about another rule I think should have, every single light where there's a left turn, the light should have a green arrow for the left turns. So, in our town, we have a light that only flashes yellow. And I'm like, what's the point of you? Like, it's red when it's stopped, it's yellow when it's yield, and then it's a flash in yellow when you can go. That doesn't help anything. Like, the whole point of needing a light there was for it to be green, so the people turning left would have an opportunity to turn.
Yeah.
So the point of that light is, it's pointless.
Kind of pointless.
There's no reason for that light.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
Now that I understand what you mean.
Like, I don't need a flashlight to let me know I can turn yellow, red.
Red. Or... left.
Left. A flashlight to let me know I can turn left. I already know that. So, speaking of driving too, here's another one. I'm all about this driving. We'll switch over in a minute. You may disagree with this one. I think you should have to renew your license every 10 years. Retake the test.
10 years.
Everything with
That's
every
usually
10 years.
5, isn't it? Or is it
No,
3?
I'm not talking about like just send in paperwork and money. I'm talking about go there and take the test every 10 years.
Every 10 years.
Because in the past 10 years, which I've had my license for, wow, I'm getting old, 14 or 15 years now. You think I've kept up with any law changes?
Probably
no,
not.
unless it's like suddenly you're going to get a big old ticket, like the whole click it or ticket stuff when everybody's had to start wearing seatbelts, stuff like that. I don't have a clue. And I'm pretty sure half the county don't realize that you need to use your turn signals.
Turn signals, yeah.
And so I just feel like, and you get behind people and you're like, do you even know what's going on? I feel like everybody should be retested, and they're like, you know what? 10 years ago you could drive. This time, no, you cannot drive.
Take a year off.
You need to practice some.
Hey, that wouldn't be bad.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
I honestly, I feel like it's worse in a little small country and town that they don't use the signals, because I found that out here when I moved here, y'all didn't really use a whole lot of lights, like signals, whatever.
I do, but others choose not to. Quite.
And I know, like, even in the city where I was, I mean, everybody used it, but, like, you had to because it was so busy, so you wouldn't get hit. But, like, here, it's kind of like, all right, fend for yourself. You get hit or you move it, you know.
Yeah, but I just feel like we trust a 16-year-old brain to get the license, and they're like, you know what? You passed at 16, you're good for the rest of your life. I just feel like that's questionable.
You need to take it again in 10 years.
Yeah, just every so often, you know, like do the whole driving thing.
The whole
and
testing.
Honestly, like the whole written thing, maybe, because you don't really know some laws and you got to let everybody know you do that. But the driving part, I feel like that's important.
Do they come up with new laws every year, or do you know? Like,
I'm sure they change stuff throughout periodically.
Yeah, see,
I
we
mean,
don't
within
know
the past
this, so
50
it's probably
years, you don't think they've changed stuff?
I don't.
Driving wise?
I don't think they do.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure, like,
maybe like if there's like new like crossway railways or something, they would probably put a sign up, or if there's a different type of railway, they probably put a sign up. But like I don't know.
There may not be new rules for driving and whatnot, but I tell you, a lot of people forgot how to drive and they should redo it.
There you go.
I just feel like they should test them. That's just my opinion. Are you ready for more?
Yeah. We'll
if you come up with some in the midst of my gripe. So apparently this podcast is Ashley griping about about what I think everybody should do to make it better, life better. So I think grocery aisles should have, like, you stay on the right side or left side like the cars do.
Yeah.
And you can turn over or whatever, because it's just so annoying. Somebody's always going the wrong direction with the crowd. There's always that one person, and everybody's walking this way, and they're like just bumping into everybody. And then, like, in the grocery aisle, people forget their minds. Like, everybody just stands there. They'll leave their cart here and walk way away, and you're just like,
that's true.
Y'all, or they'll stop and talk.
So you want everybody to go either on the frozen section first, and then go all the way back to the cleaning, or the cleaning to the food section?
Well, it don't really matter, because most aisles you can fit 2 carts down there, so every aisle would have left and right. Like, you stay on the right side, and you get, like, if you need something on the left, I'm not against stopping for a moment and grabbing something from the left side, but just keep your cart going the same way.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, carts are not just like, you try to go down the aisle sometimes, and 2 people are coming at you, and you're like, well, I need to go to this aisle, but y'all's all in my way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially when you're walking the other way. Kind of like during COVID, they had the arrows on the, do you remember?
Oh,
at a grocery store, you had to walk a certain way.
Because,
to kind of keep everybody from
in a certain distance too.
Yeah, I know a lot of people didn't like that.
Yeah,
but I thought it was a great idea. I was like, yes, we want everybody moving.
I think now that you kind of brought that up, I don't really care for that for me specifically. But one thing about the stores that I don't like is that they don't, like, I mean, okay, they have stuff for handicapped people, right? Like the little wheel things. Not all of them do, but most of them do. Now, why don't they have something for kids? Like, I know, like, Target has, like, cars stuff for the kids to ride, or like
like the double.
Yeah, like
where they can sit up there beside you.
Yeah, instead of in the buggy. Like, instead of them being in with all the food. Why can't they have like even Walmart? Come on.
I know you have more than one kid. They have like that one kid that can sit there.
Yeah,
but you really need to put your purse there.
Like, right, exactly. So like. But they don't even have, like, a double. Like, sometimes I think Target might even have, like, a double for 2 kids.
Sam's does. It has, like, for 2 kids. And then,
Yeah, and then, like, but nobody else thinks
Target
about
has,
this.
like, the cup holders and everything.
Yeah. So, like.
Target's an experience. You got your cup holder,
Walmart and Kroger.
Starbucks.
I mean, I like Kroger.
Kroger has the little.
I guess I don't ever catch it.
Yeah, because they only have, like, one where the kids can sit in the front in the little car.
Okay. Yeah,
I think it's a 2-seater.
See, like, that's what I mean. One. Like, why can't all grocery stores accommodate some, like,
parents
with kids, you know,
Yeah,
we're going to shop there, so obviously you're going to need to accommodate me too.
That's a good idea. I think they all should have some type of thing.
Yeah, and not just one or two, okay? Because there's not just one or two parents. There's more parents. Like, cause, like you said, Walmart or Kroger has like one.
Oh,
you know, like they should have more than one.
Multiple ones. Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So, anyway, but like as far as like what you were talking about, it don't really matter because I feel like I'm one of those people that you would be
going the wrong way, getting on my nerves. I'm not here to socialize. I'm not here to be friendly. I'm here to get my stuff and go.
Because I think, which I don't know how you are as far as getting your groceries, like when you go in the store. My husband likes to go get all the cleaning stuff, non-food first.
Right.
So like if I'm getting shampoo, whatever, he wants to go there first and go around the grocery store all the way to the food section.
Correct.
And then out the checkout. So like that's
not
how
you?
No.
Okay, I'm with your husband. So what do you do?
I just go in and immediately go to the food.
But you have cold stuff.
I know. That's what my husband tells me. But I never was like one to be. Which I don't know if people get taught how to grocery shop, right? The right way or the wrong way. I don't think there is one, but I mean, apparently I might be doing wrong.
No, I was just like, that's how I do it too. I don't think I was
just
taught
go
that.
in
I just kind of like,
and
I don't know. I just like sketch, like if I have a list, I just like start there and then I like, that way I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
I don't like.
I just gotta go boing, boing, boing.
Yeah. But I don't know if it necessarily makes any.
That's probably why I forget a lot of things.
But then you may not overspend. Like you're walking my stuff too, so you might overspend being too. Maybe. Unless you're just like focused. Like this is what I'm getting. Well, to the next one. This is what I'm getting.
For the most part, that's what.
I'm like. I start here and I walk through the entire store, so I see everything to throw in my cart. Like, I need this, I need that. So yeah.
Anyway,
another one I think it should start happening is I think horns. Maybe we should just like do a code. Like, you know, sometimes you honk your horn at somebody.
Oh.
And you're like,
you told me about this one.
Okay, sometimes you do something stupid and you realize it, and the person behind you, and you just want to tell them you're sorry. Like, my bad. I need like a signal, like maybe
or a signal, or a little honk.
My bad. Or like if they're driving stupid, you'd be like, you know, like a long horn, like get it together, you know, or just like different things. Or if you say like somebody's coming, you're like, you're about to get hit, it could be like a beep 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 beep.
Yeah, like
that way they know. They're like, oh no, I need to be aware of something. Yeah. Because I feel like the horns, you don't know. Like somebody honking at you, you're like, are you saying hi? Or are you saying I'm acting stupid? Like I need to know. Yeah. Because sometimes you're passing somebody, you honk at them, just let them know, like, hey.
And then you see, now that you mentioned this too, like you see people like meeting crossway. Like if you and I were out in town, and we both know that we're out in town, and if you see me cross by, you'll probably honk the horn.
Yeah, let you
know. I'm like, who is that? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like maybe they need to have one where it says, hello, hey.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what we need to do. Either Morse code with the horns we have, or just replace them, like a little sound to let you know, like, hey, it's okay.
I would be fine with it.
Yeah, I think that should be a thing that we start doing.
Yeah.
As a horn
that would
thing.
be funny.
Because sometimes I realize I'm doing something bad, or like you don't mean to. Mm-hmm. What's going on? You're like, I need to let that person know I didn't mean to cut them off, but like, I kind of did.
Yeah. And then
then you feel bad, and you're like, you know, whatever.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you need to have a conversation, but I'm not getting out of my car to have a conversation. I think that would eliminate some road rage when somebody's like, oh, you know what? They pulled out in front of me, but they said sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not so mad about it, but they pull out in front of you and they don't say sorry, and you honk your horn and they're like throwing their hands up when they're really saying, I'm sorry, but to you, you're thinking they're throwing their hands up in frustration. And then people are getting shot when all we need is a horn to let us know what the person is trying to say.
There you go. We just need a horn that talks.
A proper horn. Do you have any? I probably have a whole big. I probably can come up with more, giving me more time, but that's all I could think of.
I don't know.
Another rule I feel like we should have. I feel like this is just common sense, but I feel like maybe we need to make it a rule. Mm-hmm. If you see a parent with a screaming kid, do not go up and talk to them unless you're going to go up and say, do you want me to check out your groceries for you? Do you want me to finish shopping for you? Do you want me to hold your kid? Mm-hmm. Do not go up to that parent and be like, oh, it's okay.
That
or
is
try to like. All you're doing is slowing me down and getting on my nerves. Like I've
That
had people
is the
do that
worst
to me,
feeling.
and I'm like, move. Like
Yeah.
I realize I don't know what you're doing because
Yeah.
my kid don't like strangers. So you like talking to them is really not helping them. So maybe not walking up
Yeah.
and offering help. But like if you see me and my kids were crying and you walked up and grabbed one, that's okay. Like that's acceptable. But
Yeah.
if you're strangers and you're just gonna walk up and be like, oh, poor baby. One time I had an old lady walk up and she was like, the kids were crying. We were in Kirk. She's like, can they have a sucker? And I was like, yes, they can have a sucker. I'm okay with you interrupting to ask if the kids can have a sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a problem, you're like, hey, I got some candy. This is what I
Yeah.
do to the kids at
Yeah.
church. Like, that's fine. I appreciate that, lady. But
Yeah.
the other ones are like, oh, what's going on?
Or
like, they want to get out of this
being
store.
mean to you. No, we're not. You know, you don't know the
Maybe
situation.
it's none of your business.
Well, like,
No.
I mean, some situations with kids, it's like they're fussing over because they can't have a toy. You just told them no, right?
Right.
And not like that. That's something that you have to make sure either you like say no, that's your word, you know, that you stick with it, or you say no, and then a little bit later you're like, here, calm down, you know, for a second. But
That's your tool to use.
yeah,
However you choose.
yes, right. But like, I don't want to be in the middle of the aisle, and I said, no, you can't have that, and then there's somebody else coming up to me, oh, it's okay, why can't they have that, or something, because I have that, I have
I
had
would
that
have said,
done.
do you want to buy it for them? I mean, maybe not. It depends
Yeah.
on what mood I was in.
But some would, you know, they would just stop, and I don't know, there's different ways, but I understand where you're coming from.
Time I was at Sam's and both the kids were starting to cry, and these people come up, and like I don't know what they was doing. They kept making the kids worse. Like I don't know if they was talking to them and the kids crying more. And the lady was like, "Well, let me tell you about our scan and go and blah blah blah." And I'm like,
It's
I
kinda
don't
like-
care right now. I'm trying to get out of the store. I realize that might help me in the future, but right now, like all you're doing is irritating the
Yeah.
kids, and I'm like,
We're
you
trying to get
frustrated
out of
too,
here.
and I'm like,
Yes.
leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? I realize that might help me later, but right now when they're screaming and you're talking to me and I'm trying to check out, I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. I get that one. I do.
It should be a universal rule.
just nobody come up with the kids are screaming. No,
I know that's just common sense, but I feel like it's happened to me more often than I think it should have. I'm like, this is just not common.
I feel like right now it's maybe just you. Because I mean I've only had like a handful.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it hasn't been like every time I go
Every
out,
time,
everything
okay.
like that.
So
But
it's
I
just
just feel like
kinda
it's
like-
happened enough that I'm like, why aren't
All right,
people
why are
leaving me
you
alone?
coming up to me? Yeah.
Yeah, like it's it's not like every time I go out the kids are crying or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just like when it happens sometimes I'm like, why are you? The other than
It's
the
funny.
lady walking up saying, hey, can your kids have some candy? Or she actually spelled it out. She was like,
Yeah.
hey, can they have some? And she's like,
Yeah,
"Okay,"
just
or
in
like,
case
just-
you said
yeah, and
no,
I was
yeah.
like, yeah, that's fine. She's like, I'll take that, and then like try to be helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, that should be a like no-brainer. Kind of a no-brainer too. If you see somebody with headphones in,
Yeah.
don't talk to them. I feel like that's just like a universal sign. Like, unless it's important,
Yeah.
they don't talk to you if they have headphones in.
Yeah.
Simple, easy.
I think also one thing as far as like with us being moms, I think about this, and I'm gonna say this real quick, but I feel like every bathroom out there, every bathroom. Now, this is one of my. You already kind of know this pet peeve of mine. Like, well, not pet. Well, I guess you could call it pet peeve. I don't know, but like, I want all the seats in the bathroom to be all round, and I don't want it cracked. I don't want
like
it
the horseshoe shape. I didn't
yeah,
know
the
what she
horse-
talked
yeah.
about when she first told me. I was like,
Yes.
I guess it's never bothered me.
Okay, so like I don't know how it is in the men's bathroom, but like all women's bathroom, and there it's like almost every other grocery store that I go to, or like every other store, you know, they have either the horseshoe toilet seat or they have just the whole round one. Okay, I want it to be the whole round one. I do not want a cracked, toilet seat, because that like that when you open it up, like, or you lift the seat up, the underneath part, whatever, the toilet seat, is so disgusting. I don't want any part of my skin to be touching it anyway. Like,
Yeah.
it's a public bathroom, okay? Everybody goes in there and pees, but some of them
It just makes it nastier.
Yes. It just makes it so much gross for me. I feel like it gotten so much worse, and I look at it so much worse and gross
Now that you have kids.
now that I have kids that go to the bathroom.
Well, speaking of kids in the bathroom, not like I didn't even know this until I had kids. Not every bathroom has a changing table.
Yes, that
I
too.
understand, like if it's like a bar.
Yeah, right. Right.
Certain places you
Certain
wouldn't put
places
kids
you
there,
wouldn't-
but
right.
like just regular places, sometimes they don't have.
They don't have
changing
changing
tables, and you're like, what?
And another thing, I feel like they should carry, like they should have already like wipes and extra diapers.
You think so?
I think so.
Just in case.
Just accommodate mothers in that have, kids.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like stacked full of different sizes, but like,
Yeah.
just a few diapers in there.
Couple.
Why?
They also sometimes when they do have have you ever gotten the one that was hung by like a giant?
No.
Like I
what
feel
do you
like
mean?
I have to have my arms up so high to change your
the
baby's
changing
diaper. You're
tables.
like,
Yes.
who is this thing? How tall were you? Have you ever changed
forgot.
a baby's diaper? My word.
Yes. I think the bathroom at Philly's was like that.
Super high?
Yes,
Like,
super
I've been-
high. I'm like, okay, I'm 4'9". I don't need this thing to be like 5 foot, and like I don't need it any.
Yeah, I've heard
Taller.
of some of them, and I'm like, this is like.
I bet taller women probably like this needs to be lifted up higher.
Yeah, probably. Maybe we just need a little thing that shift it up and down. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I feel like it's almost easier to change them lower than higher.
Yeah.
Like I've changed my kids on the floor at my
Yep.
house. Like you can change them lower than maybe not. Maybe if you're super low, it might be uncomfortable. But
I think you're
But I
right
do
though,
think
because there
sometimes
are
that's, like,
several
really
ones
high, and you're like,
that are
what is
high.
going on here? I feel like I'm a little shorter than average, but I feel like those were too high.
No, I feel like I'm about the same way though, because there's a lot of places that I go to that are a lot higher than my waist, and like my kids are already getting taller, so like I don't need something else that makes me struggle to change them. But thankfully, I'm out of that stage. So, but
Yeah,
anyway,
which I feel like my kid's starting to get too big for him anyways, which he's about that age to be funny trained regardless. But anyways, there's some that are really high. But
all that to say is just to be.
just a fun little
Fun,
thing to think about.
yes.
Like you're like, oh, this would be so much easier.
And you
if the
probably
world-
also have thought of some of these that we've talked about.
yeah,
so
or your own little thing. You're like, it's nothing, but it would just make things a lot more interesting.
smoother or easier or interesting.
Yeah, if
like
you
the
did it that way.
horn. I think everybody's thought about this.
That horn thing, I think, is really, really good. Natalie forgot to charge her phone last night, so
Yes.
that's all. That's all we have
I did forget to charge my phone.
No, I
last
did
night.
too. It was crazy because she said that, and I was like, I'm on 5% too.
So we had to wait for. We got a late start on it today, and my phone's about to die. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this one.
Yeah, it was just a fun,
It's just
silly
a fun,
one,
silly
just a
one that
little
we
thing
got
to
together.
Make
Yeah.
you laugh, since just
Yeah.
a fun
I hope you stay tuned for our next one.
So we have some guest interviews planned.
Mm-hmm.
So I need y'all all to pray for something. Ashley currently doesn't have mics, and Natalie's mics do not work on my phone. So y'all be praying that we'll be blessed to get these mics soon rather than later. So
Yeah.
we need them because we have some plans, and the mics we're wanting to get. It'll be easier for us to both be on an interview. Whereas what
Yeah.
we have now, we can, but it's not quite as convenient.
Yeah.
So the next one we're hoping would be more convenient for both of us to interview people, and I think that'd bring out different things. Like Natalie said last time, like each of us we have different opinions, we ask different questions, and kind of get a better.
And
sense
some
of
days,
stuff.
we'll talk about it when we're interviewing. We have the same opinions, but it's still nice to kind of go back and forth with our guests to kind of talk and stuff. But yeah, we need different mics, and we're looking for. Well, we found some, but we're just we're trying to see how we can get those. And but anyway, we hope you guys stay tuned.
Yeah, so at least probably April we'll get them because it'll be a birthday present. But I'd rather have them before. So maybe we do a go find me for my. Anyways, so
But you guys stay tuned. Make sure you go check out all our platforms that we're on now. We're finally on Apple. If you don't know, we only have the first season on there. So just make sure you check that out, and Spotify and our YouTube. And
we will see you next time.
bye.